all sorts of cars trying to go through all sorts of, unapproved routes. All of that is going on. Rice is being smuggled, things are being smuggled. But since they closed the border, all of that stopped. However, it's something of a mixed blessing. Now, I have with me Chief Tajuddin Adetayo. Chief Tajuddin Adetayo is chairman of Freight Forwarders and Maritime Association in the Idiroko border. Good morning to you, Chief.
Good morning, sir.
Now, you work in that sector.
Yeah.
There are benefits to this closure. In fact, when we were talking about it before coming on air, you had said to me that actually government closed the border at the right time. But, and then you put a but. What is the but?
The but is that nobody is being notified. There are some people doing legitimate business in the border too, that we pay duty to the federal government of Nigeria, and we cleared our goods through the land border. So we are not smugglers. Okay, the people down that are paying duty, where are they now? We are only suffering. Our goods are lying down there. Nobody to take care of this thing. If government want to do this, even if it is only 1 week or 2 weeks notification that, oh, we are going to close the border, move your goods out of Benin Republic. Even the goods in the ports now, they are having demurrage. And Benin people are collecting money because of that demurrage. No truck to load any longer. Even the one at Seme border, they are there more than 500 trucks. Entering demurrage every day, we are paying 24,000 naira for demurrage per day.
Per truck.
So my appeal is to government to assist us. If possible, they should give at least 1 month to clear our goods if they want to close border. Because you see this issue, as Ali have said, the siege of customs.
Yes.
He has been to Cotonou up to 3 or 4 times. That I'm even aware. It's because they are not cooperating with us. If Benin people are cooperating with us, I think this issue will not come out of it, because presently, Benin too, they have removed rice importation and frozen chicken from their system. They too, they have realized their mistakes. So what well and good, we are appealing to the federal government of Nigeria to open the border so that people will not die of hunger. It's getting out of hand.
Well, I understand, but as you probably are aware, government doesn't work like that. So sometimes, perhaps most times, government is looking at the overall benefit, the overall good. And yes, there will be people caught within the cracks, which is unfortunate. Life isn't fair. But I don't know quite. That's why I thought we'd talk with you and see. You've been there. You work. You're experienced. And what can we do? Government doesn't usually make exceptions unless they do a whole policy sort of overhaul.
Thank you. You see, this issue on ground, we have customs, we have police, we have migration, we have everybody. All the law enforcement agents are in the border. Are they sleeping? Rice, if they say it is smuggled rice, can he fly? Can he fly to Lagos? They are there on the road. Even we have a lot of porous road. We agree.
Yes.
We should sit down, tight our house. Our house is leaking. If the border is being handled tightly, I think issue of smuggling will become minimal. Even if it cannot be stopped, it will become minimal. So it's only we that we are doing legitimate trade are suffering.
Now, when you say our trucks, Nigerian trucks,
yes,
legitimate businessmen, for importers, that they've been caught unawares because there was no stakeholders did not know. It was
even the custom too. Nobody's aware.
Yeah, so it was sudden.
It was sudden, no notification at all. Nobody tell us anything. You just wake up. Even there are some trucks down there in the border now that have paid duty. It just came, it was on Tuesday. They just come, border is being closed. Even the one that have paid duty, they are still lying idle. I said, my border there now. They are not allowed to enter. And they have already paid duty.
You know, this to somebody who doesn't work there, it's a bit uncanny what exactly is going on, because the border is closed to people who don't want to play according to the rules.
Really?
But if you didn't have any of that on your hands. Surely it's not that, the intention is not that we don't want anything to come into Nigeria. That's not it. Whatever is going to come into Nigeria must come in, legitimately. That is the big question. But now I'm reading in the papers, as you have, and you probably are well aware, they say what is going on in the border now has begun to affect, for instance, rice. The price has skyrocketed.
Yes. I agree with you with that point. I agree with you. So due to the close of the border, really, people have now patronizing meat in Nigerian rice, which is lovely. It's a good idea.
One moment, sir. There's a call coming in from Agbado, which is not too far away from one of our borders. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much for calling, Mr. Oyewo.
Yeah. Concerning the closure of the border, I think it's a very good move by the federal government because you would see that closing of the border has really increased our acceptance in our homegrown production.
Rice.
Talking about rice.
Mm-hmm.
Now people are forced to go for Nigerian rice, which is really having a great impact in my manufacturing sector.
Okay.
So now, if your guest is talking about or asking the government to open the border, then it's a wrong move. The production they are making at the border, they let them divert it to those who are within the country, and let them divert it to other countries, or let them channel it to another place, not using the border. And apart from that, closing the border is also trying to make stringent security measures so that it will curb security mayhem, which is happening across the border. Because you realize that people commit crime across the border and come to Nigeria and go back, which is really affecting us. So I think even I will wish the government should close the border for like 10 years. Then let us learn. Because when they close the border, we would actually want to go for our own products. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oyewo. Close the border for about 10 years to contraband. That's what he means.
Yes, it's good in that way.
Yes.
We thank God. You see, this issue of close of border, not everybody is a smuggler. Take note of this. There are some people doing legitimate business there and paying duty to the federal government of Nigeria.
And I'm not trying to bring in banned goods.
At all, you cannot do it.
You can't.
You do 100% examination. You cannot even bring up some. Okay, let me explain one thing for you. These goods comes in form of containerized from Cotonou. There's no containerized goods coming to Idiroko border. When you they open the container at the port of Cotonou. When they open the container, they offload it into another truck coming into Nigeria. So there's no way you want to hide arms and ammunition. It's not possible. It cannot happen because the moment you did that, then the two customs will be aware. They will get you arrested. It has happened before. When somebody brings arms and ammunition, then the people caught it. And the man was jailed almost 10 years. If I could remember, it's about, let's say, 10 years ago. So there's no way you can hide arms and ammunition in our goods because it comes in container from abroad. When you get to Cotonou, we now offload the container into our own truck. So how do you want to get it to keep the ammunition? It's not possible.
Okay, but you appreciate the security concern that is being mentioned.
Yes. You know, I said it earlier.
Yes.
The government did the right thing at the right time.
Okay, let's hear from Taiwo. Good morning, Taiwo.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm very grateful for the topic you mentioned earlier. Sir, but it's very good for us to have a security conscious in our country. But for the part that the country is has a loophole and everybody just going out. But concerning our people, about food is very essential. We need to have a sufficient food for our people. People are suffering. People cannot able to accept 3 square meals. So what is Nigeria doing? Our local rice the one the Lagos State is doing, because of that, is now competing with almost 20-something thousand, where some people have the right to hide it and start selling a very lucrative price. During the time of this Lagos State governor, Ambode, the rice was sold for 12,000. Now go and check it. During the time of the present governor, it's now 20-something or 18,000. Why? Our local food is supposed to be the cheapest. Food is supposed to be the cheapest way of how people can be able to afford. Do you think people that doesn't have money, how are they encourage thieves, or people will be trying to burgle houses and everything? So if we cannot able to accept our own food, they should allow, they just train it and monitor it. What is, at least from there, if they can go through the border and they tax them, they collect money, it's a revenue for the country. Instead of blocking it totally, that the food will not be, which one are we producing now? Tell me that people can able to benefit or can able to afford. Now they block it, we cannot able to have access to our local one, we cannot able to have the foreign one. What do we want to do? And the rice is the cheapest and the common food for all our people. Please let us, I think, looking at now, for the instance now, yes. They said the government have been building houses. How many of us can able to afford the house that is going to worth about 3-5 million or whatsoever? The land is there for them to build a house that people can able to afford. So what else can we do over that? So God bless you, and I'm very grateful for that, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taiwo. Indeed, what Taiwo is saying, most people can relate to, but it's one of those hard problems. Originally, as everybody knows, the best is grow your own food. We should be able to feed ourselves. Now, I know it's an idealistic position, right? I see you're shaking your head that, but we've not got there yet. But you see, that's the ideal. Now, how long, probably, is what government is thinking about. How long are we going to keep on shaking our head saying that, no, make it? We have to get to that place, seems to be the position of government, where we begin to take feeding ourselves seriously. All these ones that are going on right now, people are, what is hiding local rice, because that's what business people would do. They see a situation, they quickly, it is an opportunity. Even weather creates those situations. Some things are more expensive in the rainy season or whatever, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I hear you work there. You work in that sector, but the ideal is that we'll never grow if, as a palliative, we keep on allowing all these things to come in. But there are people being affected right now. As Taiwo just said, it's
you see, if we say because it's affecting some people and we allow rice to be coming in, you don't have good security. You don't have food security at all.
I'm very grateful to you, sir. I'm very grateful to you, sir, for what you just said.
The best is to ban rice importation. We agree with what government did. It's good. It's for betterment of every Nigerian. Issue of security-wise is good. But all what I'm saying is this. We should tighten our belt.
Okay.
Our house should be in order. Where do you have customs? Where do you have police? Where do you have immigration? Where do you have people, the other agencies on the road? Because they are taking money, they are taking salary, and they are doing nothing.
Okay, because if all of these were working as you are saying,
everybody should suffer for them.
Okay, so if all of these functionaries were working as they should be working, then you are saying that the hardships wouldn't be as much, because they would be apprehending any...
Take for example, if I could remember, about in 1984, I think some people have been caught for for cocaine or drugs.
Yeah.
Now, they give them their penalties. As soon as they give them their penalties, for that period, about 10 years to that time, nobody do it. Anybody that smuggle rice, get him arrested, jail him. If you jail him, I think peace will reign.
Okay, let me go to Warri. Benga is in Warri. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir. I just want to say, as much as there's a side to sentiment. There's also a side to the economics of all that is being said. I listened to the custom boss, and he explained the modalities concerning this closure of the border.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with just what we are saying. There are conditions, there are laws that have been set, ECOWAS protocol that are in place, that are expected to be followed, that the neighboring countries are not following, to the detriment of Nigeria. So it is only essential that we do what is needful. If they correct all the things that they should correct, the borders will be opened. And to even say now that we have custom, we have immigration at the border, they should be able to do their work. It's not as easy as that. We all know that the border of Nigeria, bordering all these countries, is wide. To cover it is almost impossible. So we can only do what is needful, which is to close the border, until all these things that are to be done by these countries are done, so that our country will not continue to suffer from what they are doing.
And even though Benga, this brings sort of immediate hardship, you are saying that, look, we're going to have to weather this storm, and then if things change for the better, then it'll sort of normalize. But we've got to weather the storm, is what you're saying.
Yes, but what hardship are we even talking about? That we are not bringing in through Benin Republic. Should we be bringing in things through Benin Republic in the first place when we have our own ports? There are economic implications for all these things. Rice can be grown in Nigeria, virtually every state in Nigeria, if that is the main topic of issue or maybe contention. Why can't we grow our own rice? People are growing rice, and we should cultivate the habit of eating what is grown in Nigeria instead of wasting our hard-earned resources.
Yeah.
Importing things from overseas.
Exactly. Okay.
It's time we all wake up that Nigeria must survive. And if Nigeria is going to survive, everybody in Nigeria must join hands to make sure Nigeria survives.
Exactly.
We cannot continue to promote the economy of other countries to the detriment of our own economy. The value chain in rice production is enormous. And it's something that we need to tap into as a country and make sure that it benefits our own country. I think that's my submission on the matter.
And I think
we should not be... Hello, sir.
And I thank you very much, Olubenga. I thank you very much. You probably don't want to contradict any of that.
No, they are saying the right thing. I'm not against what they are saying.
I know.
But the issue on ground, now, are we going to abandon all those trucks there? The goods that are there, the ones that are legitimate business.
Okay.
Are we going to abandon it in the border there? Till when?
And as you
For
said,
God's sake, even if it is only 2 weeks, they should allow us to carry our goods.
Demurrage.
The demurrage is 24,000 naira a day. It's getting out of hand, please. I'm only appealing.
And it's going to end up in I don't know what goes on in your business. If it gets to a certain stage, it probably end up in forfeiture. I mean,
the one in Nigerian side cannot be forfeited to Benin Republic again. It's only the one in the port. After, I think it should be after 6 months of
not clearing the demurrage.
That is the one in the Benin Republic port.
Okay. Joshua in Irewole, good morning. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, Uncle Sorry. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
And I greet your guest.
Sure.
I think I align with what he's saying. The immediate issue of the things that were trapped within the border, it will be appreciated if those ones are looked at since they're already caught in the web. But talking about corruption, this idea of we have security operatives, we know corruption.
Yes.
So we should not even go there. We should not go there because if you open the border because you think that your custom will work, they will not work. The thing will be washed. So let there be compliance with the laws. And then I want to, because the person that is sitting with you has some influence, I want to appeal to him on one thing. I think the border closure too has to do with productivity. Nigerians have gone suddenly into all manners of buying and selling. We have ignored the fact that productivity is what grows the economy. All the communities within the border, even if it's to go across, to go and buy one dereka of rice, all their youth, that is what they are doing now. Nobody is doing anything productive again in Nigeria. And then the law is very clear. Whatever you import into a country, you consume it within that country. Now, Benin has decided to use Nigeria as a dumping ground. They just import everything they don't need, and then they ship them to us.
And we are always ready to buy.
And we are always ready to buy. So we've played this role of big brother for too long, and it's destroying us. So we need to get back to reality, addressing the issues as they were. So I'm glad it's been done, and I hope it can be sustained. It is all about going back to being productive. It's talking to all of us as Nigerians. This buying and selling is not taking us to anywhere.
Indeed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua, for calling in. And as you know, I think the president some while back had actually, forbidden central bank from providing forex for food.
Yes.
Don't do it anymore.
Yes, no. Especially for rice.
Yes.
Nothing like that.
Especially for rice. Just don't do it. Don't provide forex for that.
More than 3 years. Now.
Yes. So, but you see, this is the problem, and it's part of it. This action, it has its painful part. You yourself work in the sector, you've accepted that, yeah, it's a good thing. However, in the midst of it, there are some people are just trapped in the midst of it. Maybe they can see what they can do about this particular instance.
This is where I'm going.
Yes, that seems to be
just to remove our goods. If they close the border for now, everybody go and look for alternative route. Whether to pass or to go to war.
Which is where we should have been in the first place.
But this thing has been in the system for a very long time. It's not now.
So we've gotten used to...
It's not now that goods are passing through Benin Republic. It's not now. It has been in the system for a very long time. Before the present government. So it has been in the system. So if they said no, okay, go and clear all these goods at hand.
Yes.
Let all this one go. Do not import through Benin Republic. Everybody will take note of that and stop importing through Benin Republic.
Okay. Mr. Mohammed in Dublin, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I'm happy. Yeah. I want to... Thank you, Mr. Yori. Good morning, the gentleman in the...
Thank you. Good morning.
Chief Adetayo.
Chief Adetayo. I know any national issues that involve the betterment of any nation sometimes is very hard. If you remember, China, their population is 1.3 billion. Nigeria is just about 200 million. China takes just drastic measure by closing down their border for many years. Before the closure of the border, China goes, nobody even wants to even touch, talk less of to buy. But after the closure, they got their things right. In Nigeria, if this border closure will help solve our insecurity in that country, the gentleman there, I know what I'm saying, he will like it, but it has to. If whatever we are getting from Benin Republic or other side or whatever borders we have in Nigeria, we have seaports and airports that are open. Not that everything is closed. They can illegally come into this country. If you imagine recently, this issue of kidnapping, armed robbery, and all these things, the issue is a bit not compared to what it used to be some months ago. All these arms and drugs, all these, tramadol and whatever.
Yeah.
Comes to all this border, and this is what those boys take. And they go into actions they don't even know what they are going into because they are under influence of all these illicit drugs. I know if it will take us months and years for all these issues to be corrected. Let it be. Nigeria is big. Whatever we need from all these neighboring countries, we can as well produce them in Nigeria. We'll survive it. Thank you very much, Mr. Yari.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed, calling all the way in from Dublin in Ireland. Yes, we're talking about, there's so many human aspects to it, but the overriding one, the overarching one is what is best for our country. And it's not just in food, it's not just security.
Security-wise too.
Security is the most important thing. And perhaps, shall I say, heading us to that which is not really the easiest, the most palatable. You said it's not today now. We've been doing it for so long, that kind of a thing. So we become used to it. And the shock, the shock of suddenly coming, as you said, not taking all stakeholders into consideration was the way you expressed it. So if we had known, for example, you are suggesting that if this had been known maybe 6 months, 3 months before it actually happened.
Month. Everybody declares you good.
Oh, okay.
And forget about Benin Republic. Because government is government. What government did is good. Nobody is saying that what government did is bad. Because I'm in Nigeria, everybody's in Nigeria. You want peace for this country. If there is no peace, can I be here? If there is a war, can I be here? So everybody do know what government did. If it is the right thing to be done, that is going to make Nigeria better. Okay.
How about
well and good?
How about we the people, we the farmers, the businessmen, and all of that? How about us also doing the right thing? That is to say, concentrating as some are doing. I think somebody spoke this morning about his rice farm or something like that. The situation, the way it was. No rice person could make it the way things were going with the very, very cheap imports that were just being slid across the border from Cotonou.
Not the same thing. That is what we are saying. We are not saying what government did is bad.
Okay.
We agree on that point. They should ban rice importation. If they ban rice importation, our local farmers will grow rice and they'll be making money.
And
people, if you create employment too, people will get jobs to be doing. So I'm not saying they should bring in rice. Okay. Take note of this. If they, what is good in rice taking self? Okay. It's only for the children.
Okay.
Anybody above 50, 60 are eating rice. No. Don't like yourself.
Adults don't.
So it's only for the children, but well and good. Now because they are bad, close the border. They are not patronized made in Nigerian rice. It's now in Shango. We go to anywhere, go to Akpoko, it's there now.
And that is the desired
only the price is higher.
Yes. Let me go on a quick break. Don't go anywhere, please. Stay right there. We'll be back. Welcome back. We're looking at the closure of the border ordered, by the president on the 21st of August. And since then, as you've been following the news, some production countries, Nigeria's border closure has hit hard on India, Thailand, rice production, and they now have a problem because suddenly our doors are not open. So it's not free anymore. And I guess that's part of the intended effect. You can't just be dumping things on, but there's the human face aspect that we're talking about. I hear you. There's still the human face aspect that we're talking about. Now, yeah, well, that's slight under your breath comment there. We're all human beings. Yes, it's an interesting scenario. We can come out of it, but not without some contribution to the matter. We've identified how security is tremendously important, but also food security. Food security is also part of it. And it's not just rice. It got to a stage. You remember I think back in the day when the president was still campaigning, I remember he had said, for goodness sake, we import toothpicks. That goes to explain to you how easy we took things. We just didn't want to do anything anymore. We actually were importing toothpicks.
You can't bring in toothpick now.
No, you can't. You can't.
It's a contraband.
All of those things. Good morning, Yakub. Thank you very much for calling in, sir.
Thank you, Jerry. And good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm one of the supporters of this government. But Jerry, the truth must be said here. Nobody says that closing of our border is not good. Yes, it's a welcome idea. But Jerry, let me and you look at it in this way. If government wants to close the border, the gentleman in the studio is one of the stakeholders in this issue. And then he's telling us that they don't tell them they want to do this. The information part of this government is lacking. I tell you that. It is now that this gentleman that Mr. President just gave appointment, Aduli Glary, if I don't make mistake of that name, he was not trying to give Nigerian citizens information coming from the federal government. They close the border. Yes, we have the security, we have the custom, we have all sorts of ministry there. And then these rights and ammunition keep coming to this country before they close the border. Now, even though when they close the border, as I'm calling you this morning, some of the customs, they are still making money. Why? Because they still allow some people still bring a little rice coming to this country. Yes, if they want to close this border, the make rice during the time of Ambode, we buy it 9,000, 10,000 naira. If the Nigerian local rice come down like 8,000, 10,000 naira before government close the border, nobody will complain. Then another thing is this: the quality of our rice, it is not compared to the foreign rice. There's no doubt about it. But Nigeria can still manage to eat it the way it is. If the price comes down like 8,000 naira, 10,000 naira, if you go to the market today, yes, I said it earlier, I'm a supporter of this government. Go to the market today. You get the local rice at 18,000 naira, some 22,000 naira. Who is going to buy that rice? How do we go to buy it? The Nigerian government should put price control on our local rice. Yes, Dangote made mention something maybe last 3 months ago. Says that anybody share border with Benin Republic, a country share border with Benin Republic, they are not going to get it right. Yes, Dangote is not going into farmers. I want Dangote to bring the rice to this country the way he brings the Dangote cement and all those cement. Let the rice come out. Let Nigeria enjoy the rice. And then the gentleman in the studio talk about our port. That if they don't allow them bring the goods from the Benin Republic, they will go to Warri Port, Lagos Port, Kibjori. What is the mode of ease of doing business in our port? The reason why those people go to the Benin Republic is that they find it easy to clear their goods. And then if Nigerian government makes our port to be easy to clear goods, what stops our Nigerian cities to go to our own local port to go and clear their goods? Kibjori, as I said this earlier, Nigerian government should be able to give Nigeria information before they take anything. Yes, closing of our border is a welcome idea. We like it. But Nigeria is suffering for eating of rice. They should do something drastically measure. And then the people that have goods in our border now, they should allow them, the one that is already in the border, let them clear it to come to Nigeria and then close it totally. Not that you close it and then they are paying 20-something thousand naira. I say, government every day, if you're right, they're going to make it. I think they should put second look into it. And then final close of the border, yes, it will take us 10 years to get it right in this country, yes. But let the rice come to the market. Usually, the 18,000 naira bag of local rice is too much. They should put price control. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Well, price control is a controversial one.
It's no more in existence.
Yes, it's a very, very controversial one. And I'm sure that one has its issues, technical issues. farmers, producers want to operate in a free market and putting a price control. I guess it's not the kind of thing that anybody is looking at right now. But I understand where that sentiment is coming from. Government is, quite frankly, forcing us to look at reality. There are tough aspects to it, but I think government, this is one of those instances where government is saying that we got to be bloody minded. I'm sorry. We've got to be bloody minded about this. Otherwise, we'll never get this off the ground. And did I hear Mr. Adele? Mr. Adeni in Ikorodu. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Morning.
Go right ahead.
I want to make contribution to what is going on.
We want to hear from you. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Go ahead,
Good
sir.
morning.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. We're waiting to hear from you.
Yes, I want to ask the man there.
Yes.
One simple question.
Yes.
All those goods that they are claiming are on the border. Yes. All those goods are claiming that are on the border. That all those goods are at the border. Are they contraband or are they legally to enter Nigeria?
They are not contraband.
He stated that they're not contraband.
They are not contraband.
But they are trapped in the closure.
Yeah, but why are they not? Why did they bring it through Nigeria port?
You see, thank you.
Okay.
You see, the issue on ground is this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeni.
You see, that issue on ground, sometimes there's a little delay. There's a time they made a law that 48 hours clearance of goods in the port. If you go to the port, both the delay, the go slow, everything. So importer will like to go to where he believes within 48 hours, within 3 or 4 days, if he gets his good.
I see.
There's a lot of delay. Okay. Now, Papa Port, the road, are they in good condition? The road too is not good. If a truck load now, before you get to by 2, maybe it take you 2 or 3 days. So who is fooling who? So if everything is in order, it's our country, it's our dear nation. So if government said everything should pass through Papa and the road was being repaired, things is in order, people will, whether you like it or not, they will go to Papa.
So the recent exercise...
Yes, it's because of delay, the road, and everything.
But the recent exercise from the presidential initiative to go and clear the Oshodi-Apapa Expressway. And
has it been cleared?
Well, yeah.
They have tried.
Yes.
They have tried. If you still go to, I think if I remember about last week, I went to Victoria Island. On the bridge there, I saw more than 100 trucks over the bridge over there. So when there's not enough
Victoria
space,
Island.
Yeah, on the way to the Victoria Island.
Oh, okay.
That is before you get to Akpombo.
Okay.
The bridge over there from Surulere here, trailers are parking on the road there. So if the one at Cotonou, everything joined the one in Lagos, it's going to be a big problem on Nigerian economy. Because the reason is this. Okay, I have my goods now. I want to clear my goods in Apapa. I get to Apapa. After paying the normal duty, okay, they do examination and the good was being released. So 4 days, 3 days, I cannot get to my destination. Do you think I will come back? So those are the reasons why people now prefer, okay, the moment I get to Cotonou, clearance in Cotonou, it's just a day.
Quite frankly, we became like...
When you clear your goods in Cotonou in a day, and before the arrival of the goods, when the valuation took effect, the valuation now, we value the goods, and we have what we call PAR. We call it pre-assessment report. Those documents, the moment you have your document, you pay your duty, you'll be cleared.
Okay. Ella, thank you for holding on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling.
I'd like to add my 2 cents to this conversation.
Please, make it more than 2 cents, but go ahead.
All right. So now the thing is that in a country of over 200 million people, you can't make everyone happy. Now, any policy that is set up, there are always people that will lose one way or the other. Now, this border closure is actually for the greater good of this nation. Now, rice.
Everybody agrees with that.
Yes, rice takes 3 months to mature. And what if last caller said about price control? The reason why rice is so expensive right now, why local rice is so expensive right now, is because the supply can't meet the demand yet.
Yes.
But once the border is closed, once people know that Nigerian rice is now a hot product, people will go and plant this, and there will be more rice for everybody, and the price will inevitably drop. Now, the thing, and what you said about security agencies, security agencies have showed us time and again that they cannot be trusted to keep our borders safe. And how are we sure? He doesn't speak for every single person in that business. How are we sure that there are people not smuggling? It's actually a naive stance to say that, okay, people cannot smuggle this. They will smuggle it. There is bribery and corruption in this country. Let's not act like it doesn't exist. So, at the end of the day, at the end of this, like, can you imagine all the products that we import when we can actually make in this country? Nigeria has become too dependent on importation. There is no food we eat in this country that we cannot grow. None. Absolutely none. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for calling in. And, our conversation with Chief Tajuddin Adetayo, he's actually chairman of the Freight Forwarders and Maritime Association in Idiroko border. He's also for it. He's also for this government action. Said it happened at the right time. It's just a human aspect to it that, look, a lot of us have become victims of this. But it is indeed, and Ella brings up a number of points in there, a number of points where we're taking things for granted. Yeah, we would like an ideal case scenario where officials are officials. And you can swear by what they stand for. That's not always the most prudent. In fact, Ella was being quite realistic about it, that, look, unfortunately, this is the way life is. Good morning, Mr. George. Good morning, Mr. George.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Good morning to your guest as well.
Indeed. Thank you.
Uncle Yori, your guest said something that I quickly want to point out. He said that many goods are trapped there, and that people who do legitimate business have not been able to clear their goods. How do we marry his statement with what the Customs Director said a few days ago, that they are now making about twice the money they were making before from customs duties in those borders?
Okay.
I think we have to learn to obey rules in this our country if we want to grow. If you want to bring in goods and you don't want to pay the relevant duty, you don't expect it to be smooth and expect the government to give you a free pass. And I'm not aware that the border was closed to those who do legitimate business. My wife just passed there last week, and nobody disturbed her. It is for those who are doing businesses that are not in line with our laws that the borders are closed to. That's the truth. I don't think the borders are actually closed. Otherwise, nobody will pass through that place.
Okay.
So, like the lady that just called said, we have to know that there is need for a bit of sacrifice for any progress that has to be made. The local rice that I've eaten it, and I think it is even better than the rice I put from Thailand. If it is not yet available in abundance, the price will soon drop when the farmers know that when what they produce is going to be sold and that they will make profit, they will produce more. Okay. Why are we not ready to make any sacrifice? We want to depend on other countries, and at the same time, we want to grow.
Yeah.
It can't happen like that, Uncle Yori.
Okay.
Let the government go on with the policy and enforce it to the letter. The gentleman in front of you is actually indeed he imported, or his group imported, legitimate goods. They will clear them in the course of time and still make their money. Good morning.
Thank you very much for calling in. Now, could you explain that?
He said some word there that
yes,
the border is not closed. The border is really closed. The government said it's partially. Issue of partially, maybe the grammar I can understand is that they allow people passing. If you have your document, you have your international passport. I think immigration allow people to be passing, coming in, going out. But talk of any goods,
Business.
no good is allowed to pass.
Well, commercial goods.
Commercial goods, imported goods. Even whether from Ghana, because we have what we call ETLS, Economic Trade of Liberation West Africa. All those goods coming from Ghana, Togo, all these things, no goods is allowed to enter the country.
Through
land border, both Seme and Idiroko. Because as of February this year, no good is allowed to come to Idiroko before. Nothing is coming to Idiroko. I think the law was being made by Benenua authority. So, but we now prefer to be going, everybody will be doing to Seme. But still now, I'm assuring you that no thing is passing through Idiroko border or Seme border.
Comrade Ayo in Oshogbo, good morning, sir. It's been quite a while.
Good morning, Uncle. You're quite a mute, sir.
Thank you for calling in.
I've been trying to call in all this while, but the line is just busy. I just got it.
Okay.
Yeah, in as much as I want to applaud the government for the closure of the border to importation of food items, it is a laudable step taken by the government. But however, the impact on the ordinary citizen is just enormous. If government can just put in some palliative, I know with time, when farmers understand that they will make more profit, then I know the price. But as at now, they should put in some palliative measures to ease the burden on the ordinary Nigerians. See, from Florida, let us think about this. Majority of our leaders who are in government don't eat this local rice. It is only if you want to be about them and say they eat it. They eat the foreign rice. But if we, the other people, who eat this local rice, if they can do something, at least for the main time, if they can put in a little bit of price control mechanism, partially, when the prices are, when the supply will increase, then we'll be a little bit happy, because as of now, I won't deceive you, the price of rice commodity is high. 13,000 naira is high for local rice. See, Uncle Yori, honestly speaking, the closure is for our own good. China did it and they get it right. If it's going to take us 15, 20 years to get it right, no problem. But my fear is this. Our problem lies on two key issues. Corruption and our patriotism to the country. Corruption is killing us seriously. And we are not that patriotic enough. We don't really believe in the Nigerian project. There's only few of us who believe in the Nigerian project. The majority of those who are in offices, who occupy positions, don't really believe in the Nigerian project. They just believe that when they get to office, they want to get what they want to get and see that they are okay for themselves and their family alone. But I believe with time, Nigeria will get it right. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling in. And you know, part of the issue I wonder is we've gonna have this. We got this acquired taste. We're talking about rice now. There are other. We've gonna acquired this taste for Thai rice,
Thailand rice,
yes,
Indian rice,
Indian rice, and that kind of thing. There's also basmati rice. You know, all of the fragrant rice, but our original rice, the ofada.
It's the best rice so far.
It is, but Comrade Ayo was the guy who made the point that they don't eat, local rice. You know, it is. So we have acquired this taste, and it's a matter of we want a quick fix. Unfortunately, we want a quick fix. So I identify what the last caller just said, which is that, look, the longest journey starts with the first step. We might be in the first few steps of this objective, but that we will get there. Maazi Okoroafo, thank you very much for calling in.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, our guests in the studio.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
our guests are honest. There is nothing wrong in the closure of this border. If Trump can close the border in Mexico, and because of they are coming to create problems with the border, and did what? And build that fence. There's nothing wrong in Nigeria here.
Okay.
Now let's look in what government should put our local industries into use, like our textile industries. If we are talking about rice. What happened to cassava? What happened to palm oil? Palm oil, we should put all this in good shape so that Nigeria should concentrate. Look, let me tell you Nigeria, which some people don't know. All this foreign food we eat increases the level of cancer in this country. Foreign rice increases cancer. Ask anybody. Because you don't know how long these guys have stayed over, how many years. Even the beans, even the turkey we eat, we clear. Big boy. All this is great because they have used all these things. We use it in embalming a human being to embalm all this turkey and send to Nigeria. And some people will just get it straight to the pot, straight to the fry pan and start eating. Consuming those chemicals, and those chemicals are also creating problems to our health. Check the level of cancer that is going on in Nigeria and what was happening before 60s and 70s and 80s and early 90s. You see that the level of cancer was very reduced. But from 2000 to date, now the level of cancers have increased because of all these imported goods into Nigeria and also killing our local industry. Now the central bank, as a matter of urgency, should try as much as possible empower our local industries. Our pharmaceutical companies are there. Give them soft loans so that they will produce all this. We go out to borrow. Look. What our guy is wearing now in the studio, now, it's not a local fabric. Now, if the Nigerian government will put all this into use, now you see that you create employment opportunities, increase. Closure of the border is good, in good shape. Whether it takes 20 years or 30 years, Nigeria have to forget about Oyibo food. Oyibo food is killing us more, doing us more harm than good. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafo. And that's really it. That's our program. Yeah, we've looked at it, very much on the surface, but it's indicative of what's going on deep within the heart, so to speak, of the policy. It's beneficial. It might not exactly be perfect with the way it was executed at the beginning, but we've started, and how does one say? We commensurate with those who are taking a loss. But Mr. George, who called in, said one thing. He said he remembers a report where the customs people said that now their take is up to 5 times as much as what used to be.
The revenue.
Yes, the revenue following this action. Now, that's an interesting fact.
It's because most of the importers, when there's no road in Cotonou, they have not affected their goods, especially the new one. At least, if you want to bring any goods from foreign country, I think it's 1 month. So this thing have taken effect up to more than 1 month now.
I see.
So people now prefer, say, instead for me to lose my goods, okay, let me go back to Apapa. So the moment there's the moment there's a volume of works at Apapa now, the revenue will be okay. It will be high.
So this is a desired effect.
We are not saying it's not good.
Yes.
I said it.
But unfortunately, you can't talk to us. You can't get the National Orientation Agency to talk to us. Let us begin to think like this. So government knows how we just turn the screws. There's no room there.
Our appeal to government is that all the goods being trapped in the border should be allowed to go.
Okay, and I think I'm going to leave it on that final note of yours.
It's very important. It's we Nigeria that are losing. This good belongs to Nigeria. Billions, not millions, of goods are there now, rotting. Now, they will pay for them rich. They will pay in Cotonou. It has happened. What is the way forward? They should allow this goods to go. If you allow the goods to go, you said, okay, do not bring your goods to Cotonou again. And anybody who did it is left to him.
Okay.
So that is my own appeal to the federal government. They should allow goods being trapped in Biseme. Allow it to come in.
Thank you very much, Chief Tajudeen Oladapo Adetayo.
Thank you, sir.
Chair, Freight Forwarders and Maritime Association, Idiroko border. The idea is that let people go to Apapa Port and all the other ports that we have, Thank you.
There's Warri Port.
Exactly. So that's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Falarin. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.